Top leaders in Albany shutting down a plan that would have imposed tougher penalties on criminals who attack retail workers.
Assembly Speaker Carl Heastie says that this bill should not be included in the state budget, and even went as far as to say that he doesn't believe raising penalties is a deterrent for crime.
Our Fox 5's Morgan McKay has more on his remarks and the ensuing backlash.
Our shop workers deserve to feel that they are protected once again and not say, I've had enough, I'm leaving.
That was Governor Kathy Hochul about a month ago, pushing to increase penalties on people who attack retail workers. However, Assembly Speaker Carl Heastie threw cold water on this proposal, saying he doesn't think tougher penalties will dissuade criminals.
I just don't believe raising penalties is ever a deterrent on crime. There's already things in current law to deal with people who assault other people.
He couldn't be more wrong.
That is Nelson Eusebio, founder of a group known as the Collective Action to Protect Our Stores. He invited Speaker Heastie to take a walk in his own district.
We have many stores in his own districts which are crying the blues because of shoplifting and other violence. He should walk his district and see what's really going on.
In a recent survey conducted by the Retail Workers Union, more than 80% of retail workers say that they are worried about an active shooter coming into their workplace. Eusebio says that retail workers need more protection.
Please think about the victims and not those creating the crime. Please think about all the people that go to work every day and want to feel safe in their place of work.
New York has been losing millions of dollars in sales taxes as a result of retail theft. And New York City saw the largest surge in shoplifting since 2019 than any other U.S. city, according to a study by the Council on Criminal Justice. Right now, the governor and state lawmakers are in the height of budget negotiations, with the budget due in just a few days. But Senate Majority Leader Andrea Stewart-Cousins agreed with Heastie and cast doubt on the effectiveness of increasing penalties on people who assault retail workers.
Both houses, find that merely raising penalties does not necessarily get at, diminishing the amount of crime.
Both Senate and Assembly Democrats are, however, looking at other proposals to crack down on retail crime. This includes a tax credit so stores can increase their security and designated funding for law enforcement to go after organized retail crime rings. Reporting from the Upper East Side, I'm Morgan McKay, Fox 5 News.